Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name's Kirsten, this is Where I Art and Craft, and today I'm starting on my junk journal January. I'm late. This is Friday the 3rd, so I need to do 1, 2, 3 today, and then tomorrow I'll do 4, Sunday I'll do 5, and this will be uploaded on Sunday. I'm going to upload these once a week on a Sunday. So I've decided I want 10 centimetre by 10 centimetre pages. So I've cut 8 pages, although some of them, like this one, I thought, oh, I'll use this. And I've used it as a little pocket colouring page. That's just a bit of page from somewhere. Ledger page. This is the other half of the front cover. This is another one that's got a wee pocket. There's a wee hole there as well. Just another bit of digital paper. And I decided I wanted this house with this tree as my cover. So the prompt for day 1 is cover. And what I've decided is I'm not going to sew these signatures together until I've finished, because it's small enough. Even if it's bulky, I can sew it together once I've finished, and it's much easier working on pages when they're separate. Now, remembering this is digital, Kirsten, what are you going to do on here for this cover? You pick this to have as your cover before realising that cover was the first one. So what you're going to do, let's start by inking this up. Right, well that's a start. Let's think. I think I might keep it quite simple and maybe just put a label with Junk Journal January on it. Maybe. Let's get some labels out and have a look and see what we've got here. I'm kind of liking that one, though it's quite small, so that might only... Do you know what though? I quite like the idea of putting that one on with the year stamped in it. And then that doesn't belong in there, so let's do that. Let's stamp the year in this one. This is going to be a very simple cover, but sometimes that's fine. You don't need these things to be overly elaborate. Last year I had Junk Journal January, like that. Or was that July? I think that was July I'd done that, wasn't it? Let's stamp that before. And I got my second set of numbers for Christmas. Oh, I cannot tell you how pleased I was. I cannot tell you how pleased I was. And this will be the first time I'm getting to use 25. A double letter, because this time 20. And the really strange thing about this is, when I got this original set, half of it was a kind of off-white and half of it was white. And when I've got the second set, again, half of it was off-white and half of it was white. And it's the opposing halves. It's like it was, once upon a time, it was a complete set. Put that down there. Excellent, I like that. It was very, very strange, it was. And I sorted all my numbers out and all my letters out, so they got terribly mixed up. I've sorted them all out, so they're all now in order. Not that I think it helps one jot, because, well, what happens with these things is you end up not necessarily needing them in order, but they are easier to find when they're in order. That is the advantage to having them all in order. So what I might do is over time I might try and keep one set in order and one set just as is. The one thing that I'm finding very strange with it, however, is that there is still only two small ends, well, it's only two capital N's as well, and ends, really, I really feel like there should be more than two ends. I shouldn't have two sets and only still have two ends, but I'm not getting a third set for having just one more N. Everything else is probably okay now on the whole, but oh, that's looking good. I'm liking that. Now I'm thinking what I might do is I might now I'm wondering about putting some snow on the roof. Let's not do that, but let's see if I can in my letters. I should have some individual letters in here as well, down the bottom somewhere, have I not? Oh no, they're in there with the individual numbers. Let's see if I can find some J's. Actually, do you know, I've just changed my mind. I know what I'm going to do. I've just remembered a stamp set. Do you find that as you're looking for something, you remember something else? I find that happens all the time. I've just remembered a stamp set that I would quite like to use for this. I was going to get it out for something else. One of the things I'm going to do this year is bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, prompt with Jodie Lewis Creations, where we're going through the alphabet, and I had this stamp set and I thought I'm going to use that for that, but I actually just thought I'd quite like to use it for this as well. So it's these little tags, and let's just get some. There we go. We'll use this bit of card. Right, and we're going to do different colours, I think. Let's use my favourite 3 colours of last year, because chances are they'll still be my favourite 3 colours this year in this memento. So we're going to stamp it 3 times. I'm thinking I want something behind here as well now. We've got pumice stone, hickory smoke, and Lost Shadow is in the watercolour pencil. Getting these back out again, because let's just ink them. My tiny hole punch, because this is a big hole is going to be too big on these ones, but I do have the tiny hole punch, so let's just see if I can. And even that's slightly too big because it's taken off the whole of the circle. Oh, I need to put a hole in here as well, don't I? Yes, this paper's quite thin, so I think what I'm going to do is I want to put something on here before putting these on here. Or do I want to hang these as 3? Because actually, no, I don't think I do want to hang them as 3. Do I want to hang them off? Oh, maybe I want to put them through. Maybe changing my mind. Maybe I want a little. I still want a bit more substance this page because this is just thin. Right, so now I'm thinking, how do I want to have these hanging? And do I want them, I think I'm going to have them stuck and hanging. Just because I think that makes more sense in my head. If they're stuck in place, then we're going to see them all. If I just have them hanging, we won't. And then I can just put things through. Right, so what are we going to hang them with? Well, why don't we use this, seeing this is right in front of you, Kirsten, even though this might be a bit of a... Oh, see, now I wish I had inked them up again. Inked up those holes. Isn't it interesting, the stuff we do tiny details on? Because we know. We've seen it and we know. So we're like, oh, nobody else would ever comment. Well, somebody might, but I could have not done it, but no, let's just see if there's a bit of colour left on the ink pad and do the hole as well, even though it's kind of smudged it further around, but I quite like that. I'm just wondering if this is the right thing. Yes, it is the right thing because it's the thing that's there, and that's what I'm going to try and do with Junk Journal January, is I'm going to try and use stuff that's right there in front of me. Right, so let's just stick this down. Oh, right, we'll stick this down as the one that's going there. Do I want to do anything else to the front? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to keep it as simple as that. Now this page here, I was actually going to make a smaller version of this and stick this on. So I'm still going to do that. So that's not going to be page 1. That's going to be my my prompt list. And that's very rough. Very rough indeed. Never doing that again. Every time I've tried to do it, it's ended up a mess. I'd be really interested if anybody's had any success with those back rings. I've tried them the way they say, I've tried them upside down, and they just never seem to do. I'm just going to, I think because this is going to just be on here, I'm going to put one of these on here just to cover it up because it's rough. So let's cut off some of that length, though I did quite like the idea of them hanging out the top. But I want to stick this on here just so I don't get, you can see how jaggedy it is. I'm tempted to hit it with something, but I don't want to break anything. Oh, I like that. Right, I've got one wee problem here because I can now see that sticker, so I want to colour that in black. That's just the back of the sticker, colouring in that black so it still looks like it's a hole. And that's just with a permanent Lumicolour. Yep, cover done. Now that's going to go in there. That's going to be the prompt list. Page 2 is going to be the envelope. Page 3 is going to be tickets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to page 3 because I actually came across tickets when I was doing something earlier today. I'd done these fabric tickets, and these two were left over. Now I've got other tickets as well, but I think I really want to use these two. Loving this one in particular. Love them both actually. Do I just want to use one and save that one for another day? It's a different ticket, isn't it? So I'm certainly going to use this one. So let's, I've got a horrible feeling if I try and tear that, I'm going to end up destroying the image. So I'm going to cut and then free, which isn't the same as tearing because you don't have that fluffiness. But loving this particular page for tickets as well. Right, okay, so that's that one. That bit I could print on that again, couldn't I? I know that these were the Tim Holtz tickets I'd printed on these. Do I want to print on it again? Do I want to? I certainly want to put that ticket down there. And I know I've got tickets elsewhere as well, but I don't know where. That's not really a ticket, but it also is a ticket. See, that one there is a ticket. Do I use the whole thing, or do I just cut out that 3? I'm just going to cut out that 3 because, apart from anything, this is day 3. They're ticket shaped and they're quite fun actually, aren't they? So let's just see where we get to with this. So I found this sticker, that's a ticket, and I've rounded the corners and I've used the little perforator tool to get the perforation signs along there. I'm going to put that underneath there. I think I'm happy with that layout. I'm going to punch this ticket as having been used. And I'm going to stick that, I'm going to ink those up and stick that down. There we go. Sun's coming in now, and when the sun comes in I can't craft up here. So that's the cover done, and it's day 3 done. I've still got to do day 2, which is envelope, and this is day 4 of Junk Journal January. I didn't show you day 2 because day 2 the making was quite emotional actually. This is a video that the prompt was envelope, and this is an envelope. I got my December cluster swaps in, well, the second of my December cluster swaps in, and it's got this big 2 on it, so I just thought, oh, I've got to put that envelope in. I was going to do things, but I was going to do a flip anyway, and I'll show you. I started by taking this envelope apart and remaking it so it was the right size, and I was going to do it as a flip that way, and then I thought, just put this one in and don't film it. So I've put this one in and not filmed it. There's a wee note in there, that's the other half of one of these, because I got a whole batch of these, which I love, and it's not something you can get readily over here. And this is stenciling with kindness. Just layered the big stencils, just layered the letters on top, and kindness, and then I use that just to cover that page and hold down the flap. And because it's a book page, I wanted to just give it a wee bit more security. But I love that, love it, and I'm so glad it's got a place where I've got a 1 and a 2 as well. But the 2, when it was envelope, it was a no-brainer really, but it was an emotional make, so I decided not to. You're not going to see that being made, but you've got enough stuff to see anyway. Anyway, on to day 4. Day 4, its outline is the prompt, and look, I have a whole load of these pages, and it was actually in the journal that way round, but I think because it's outline, I'm going to have it this way round, and I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Very, very simple. We need a 4 on it somewhere, so I'm going to actually start by taking out my, oh, and look, there's a 4. Huh. There's a 5. I might just keep that 5 out for tomorrow, because actually I like the fact that that's been die cut out of gold book cloth. But shall we just use this 4, seeing it's here? Let's just use this 4. And let's do something to the 4. Let's start by roughing it up a bit, shall we? Because it's a bit... There we go. Let's heat emboss this 4. Now I've got a choice as to whether I'm going to heat emboss it black, or I could heat emboss just the outline of it, couldn't I? Ooh, shall we do that, or shall I not heat emboss it at all? Shall I just draw? Shall I outline it in? Because who says the outline's got to be done in black? We could outline it in gold or silver or bronze. Let's stick to gold or silver. I don't know what I could outline it in. Coppers. My copper pen's a thicker pen, so I don't know if copper or red. Shall we? Oh, see, now I'm thinking if I outline it in red, I'm going to outline it in red. So I'm now thinking I want something that goes along lies along the top here. Let's see if I've got anything in this drawer that's speaking to me. Like that, it's kind of, it needs a word, it needs a word. Let's find a word. What do we want? Let's just see, what's the first thing we get? Happiness, no. contrary to mathematical truth. That kind of just, I do that sometimes. See, there's another one. Pebbles on the shore of the boundless ocean. These are actually mostly from children's books, and you suddenly see these sentences that are slightly bizarre, and I just tear them out. It's glue books usually, and a sentence will just catch my eye, and I just think, oh, I'm going to take that out, and actually I like that. Right, that's what we're doing. I've decided. So let's start with I want to just mess this up a wee bit more. And there is 4. Day 5. And we're on this page here, and we've got this pocket, and it's depth. So I'm thinking, if I put something into pocket, then that's the depth, which you can say is a bit cheeky, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Is that the depth, or do I actually, oh right, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear that so that this is now opens out. So it's like this when it's in the page, and then it opens out. The depth is you open it and something is deeper, more than you think it is. So what could that be? What could that be? I think I'm going to start just by collaging this page. And I've got these bits. I could use some of these bits, couldn't I? Because I like these. I like the fact that would give that a wee edge. Maybe I use a bit that gives the whole edge, or do I use a bit that just gives the top edge? I think I'll just do that. This wasn't the one I meant to pull out, it was this was the one I meant to pull out. So we had a slight technical issue then, and I collaged this, and then I've just knocked it back with some gesso, collaged the front, put the sticker and the 5 and dots here, and now I'm going to use this stencil, which was a Christmas present, and it's THS069. And I'm going to use that stencil on the top half of that page. And what we're going to do is we're going to use it with, I'm going to use chopped mousse in bourbon biscuit. on day 6, which is emboss. Love this. What I'd love to do is I'd love to emboss him in black and make him really shiny. Well, certainly his body. But that's not the page. This is the page. This is the other. This is part of this page here, which was a freebie from Tracy Fox Creative as her December challenge, and I printed it all off and then didn't have time to do the challenge. But I just thought that I liked that. That kind of gave me the January vibes for my front cover, and then I was left with the bit with the crow, and I thought, oh, that's a peach. Let's get on though. I need to think what I'm going to... there's 3 types of embossing I use. One of them is using metal and a stylus, but I don't have anything that I want to use in that. It tends to be Christmassy stuff mainly. I have the metal plates on, so I'm not going to do that. The other one is, I'm just reaching for this, using this kind of thing. These are small ones that I just keep right next to me. Got that one as well. Oh, actually, I think I might have a bit of that one that I didn't make a very good job of, to tell you the truth. But maybe we can use it some way as a secondary bit of embossing. Or maybe I didn't. That's it. That's it there. It just wasn't... I'd forgotten to spray my paper first. If you spray your paper first, you get a cleaner emboss. And I'd forgotten to spray my paper first. But actually, I could still use that on here as a bit of kind of something down here maybe. So, but let's deal with the actual bit of embossing. And I thought what I am using heat embossing, and I got these as a gift at Christmas, and I mainly wanted it for this. And so I think I'm going to open this up and use this today. Now, one of the, see, just fits on that page. One of the things, of course, when you heat emboss is that you will leave a mark on the page behind, but as that's a plain page and was going to be covered anyway, I'm not concerned in the slightest about that. Let's put that in the bin because that will go in its folder, although I maybe do a video on using the rest of them, because I'm trying to, you might have seen the swatching video I did. I'm trying to make sure I use all my bits and pieces that I got as gifts, and if even this with the swatching, it just means those colours and pens are in my head more than they might be if I just put them straight away. So I've got to, this was a gift. I've also used that gift, another gift yesterday for my stenciling background there. That was beech trees. So yeah. Right, and I'm going to use another gift just now, which I've already used before, but I did have a wonder about it. Versamark Dazzle Champagne. I didn't know that Versamark did a watermark stamp in Dazzle Champagne, and this was bought as a, oh, it didn't have what you wanted, so I bought this instead. What I'd asked for was a new watermark pad, and it has got a wee champagne-y, dazzly bit to it. But you're going to see the effect now. But one of the things that happened when I used this was I thought, that page isn't big enough, is it? One of the things that happened when I used this was I thought, oh, I wonder what that will have, what effect that will create with distress glazes. I want to use Scotch timber for this. That's going to work, isn't it? Right, Scotch timber. Let's ink this up. You can see even the pad's got a bit of a, oh, and it's very sticky, as these watermark pads are, which is why they're so good for embossing. Right, let's get that over there. Let's have a look. Oh, that's looking good. Right, let's put this away. I always start heat embossing. Can you, I hope you can see that. Can you? We've got that lovely shine. I should maybe do a bit of stamping. Let's just do that, shall we? Been through this has turned into an experiment as well as a make, hasn't it? But that's okay. That's okay. Right, and let's use it on the printed size again as well. Should we use the same? Now, of course, that's not going to fit on here, is it? So let's still use it, because then we can compare it. Even though it's not going to fit on, it'll be a good comparison. And let's just use the ordinary Versamark this time. Oh, I need my big board out again, don't I? I think we want all that thick bit on, because that's probably... See, the trouble is I'm going to do it on the other side, just because the trouble is the colour. I don't want the colour of the paper having an impact, because it's a different colour paper. So it wasn't going to be a good test. Right, that looks like that's printed well. Going to move this out of the way so I don't inadvertently heat it some more. There we go. Let's compare the two, shall we? Oh yes, look, there is a difference. Oh, this one's bent. Because it's such a big bit of... I don't know if you can see the difference, but there's definitely a goldiness to that one. That one's kind of a more goldy brown. And interestingly, you probably can see in that I've lost some of the detail there that's actually still on this one, which is interesting as well, because what's happened is that I don't think I should use the champagne one for embossing. I much prefer this print to that print. So much more. It's a shame it's not the whole thing, but I could cut it out and paste it over the majority. Let's put that over there. The fact that that's the bit, but that's the bit I'd quite like to. Do I put it up? Ah, see, if I put it up in that corner, but then it would be underneath this one, wouldn't it? Or is it just another bit on top of it? My difficulty is it's coming from a different angle. You see, the grass would be like that. Now, for lots of people, they'll be like, but that's what's bothering me about it, is the grass would be like that, not like that. So I'm not going to use it. That can go back in the drawer to be used at another time as well. Let's just see if I can get this. That's better. And let's do that corner. That's better. Right, so what am I going to do? I haven't even picked a number yet. Should we see what I've got in my 6 drawer? Let's see, what have we got? My 6 drawer, in my number, in my number letter oddities drawer. Like that, quite like that, putting in the centre of the see, that one was really too big, but that one, let's trim that outer layer off. Whoa, but that's probably a better size anyway. I like that, but we need something else on the page. The page needs a word of some kind. Let's see what we might find. Happiness, nope. What's this? Well, that's the pebbles on the shore of the boat. Nope. You can tell that I'm not 100% happy with that when I keep on going. What can happen? Oh, I like that actually. I like that. That's the one we're going for. Because we're at the beginning of the year, but it's not the end of the year. Sometimes I think people think the beginning of the year, that's it, done. And also because you can count the year of a tree on its rings. So I kind of like that, because as well this tree has been cut down. So what's happened in this year? A lot can happen. It's been cut down. There won't be another ring added to it. I like that. That's working really well for me. And I'm sorry, I don't remember where these words came from. I'm going to put that down the bottom there, I think. I try and keep sheets of words together nowadays, but when they start to get split up, then they just end up in that box. And I've got a feeling I might know, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. If you're interested, ask and I will do some digging to try and find them for you. But I don't want to say the wrong thing. Now I found this little let's ink first. I found this little roll of tape, and it is little dots, sticky dots. I should keep it for using something difficult, but I just wanted it used up and out the way, so I'm going to use it for this. This is a very long video for a very simple make, isn't it? But never mind. Never mind. And actually I think I'm just going to use this because it's on there. I don't know how good they'll be at sticking to the embossing glaze. So let's put the 6 in the middle like that. And a lot can happen in a year. What can happen in a day, or an hour, or a week? But a lot can happen in a year. Right, okay. And let's put that in here. Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me. As I said, you'll see the next Junk Journal January post, whenever it goes up, I'm not going to do it on a set day. I've decided that's definitely not going to happen. What I can say is it won't be going out on Wednesday because I'm desperate to do something that I'm going to be putting out on Wednesday, and there's no way I'm postponing that. You take care. Keep crafting. Bye for now.